Yo, it's the deal, good people. It's your boy Eric Taylor. Taylor to you, Astrology. DJE complete in the house. One of the illest MCs ever. Today, I'm continuing my Secrets of the Sun Sign series. And this is very near and dear to my heart. Taurus Sun Sign Secrets. Taurus the bull, ruled by the planet Venus. First earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign. Associated with the second house. Taurus really goes from April 21st to about May 17th, 18th, the 18th really, 19th. And wow, and don't get me wrong, that's still kind of cuspy, the 21st. That's really 0 degrees. And I know this because my mother, RIP mom, Cheryl Taylor, was a 0 degrees Taurus on the cusp of power, the Aries Taurus cusp, but definitely a true Taurian, a Taurus the bull woman. One of my best friends, RIP, Kwame Ohaney Frimpong, Taurus as well. And my sister, RIP, London Taylor. So I've lost a lot of great Taurus in my life, but I had the pleasure of, knowing them and being around them, most of my life, right? So who is Taurus the bull? Well, you're not going to get your traditional breakdown here because what I'm doing is giving you the sun sign secrets. So when you're looking in the natal birth chart at your Taurus sun, it can be in any house. And there's 3 decans, but also to learn more about the Taurus sun and even your personality, identity, creativity, authority, expression. But really, and that's all that represents the sun, pride, ego, right? All that stuff. But you have to look for the sign, which is Taurus, and Taurus's ruler, which is Venus. So you want to see if the Venus is strong or weak in your birth chart, and that helps flavor the story of your sun sign, along with the house that it's in, as well as the relationship with your father, right? So Venus, is at home in Taurus and Libra, exalted in Pisces. But if your Venus sign is in Scorpio, Aries, Virgo, it can, afflict in some negative ways potentially. But remember, I tell you, debilitation's not terrible. Can affect in some ways your Taurus sun. So what is Taurus, right? And I'll get to some of the famous people, but like always, I think you're famous. And I gave you the most 3 famous people, Cheryl Taylor, London Taylor, and Kwame Ohaney Frimpong, okay? Let that be stated right there. Oh my gosh. So the Taurus first decan, and let me just talk some more about Taurus. So Taurus, right, it rules the throat and the voice in astrology, lower jaw. It's about pleasure, beauty, money, savings, your values, your self-worth, antiques, things you would collect, culture, right? Fine wine, fine dining, art, museums, galleries, classic music, painting, art. Taurus is very nostalgic. It's about crystals and gems, right? It's gardening, nature, the earth. Now remember, the Taurus, the bull, is exalted in the moon because the moon is the closest thing to earth and Taurus is the first earth sign. Now, you might not know this, but Sun and Venus aren't really friends, right? Sun has its team, and that's like Mars and Jupiter. And the moon, where Taurus is exalted, get the connection, has its team, which is Venus and Saturn. So Taurus, being ruled by Venus, it's not the best, happiest place for the sun, the king, which is at home in Leo and exalted in Aries, right? So these people sometimes can be materialistic. They can indulge in sex and fabric and clothing and Gucci and Fendi and Prada and this and that and Chanel and Dolce & Gabbana. All of it. And my mom had all of it. They love to collect things. But if the Venus is debilitated or in its fall, they can be hoarders. Taurus can overshop, overbuy. They can be addicted to shopping. Okay? My mom went through that for a while. They have a very stubborn, fixed, practical, pragmatic personality. Very intelligent, have great sense of humors. They can be lazy, but it's more about just, they know how to relax. They like the finer things of life. They like comfort. They're very, handsome guys, beautiful women. They, sometimes will have like not a protruding forehead, but there's the bull-like features, and they can have bigger or broader shoulders. And Tauruses, and you see that more if it was a Taurus rising, by the way, that physical appearance, right? But for the sun sign, they definitely, even the guys might have some rings, bracelet. The women like to wear a lot of earrings and jewelry. They're very feminine, Taurus. It's Venus, So some Taurus women, even if they're slender, could be a little curvy. But they just really, the word I think of is class. They're classy. My mother and my sister were classy. And Taurus is usually, they love food. They tend to eat slower. Sometimes you have to see where their Mercury is, but sometimes they can, if they don't speak slower, they can take their time when they respond or when they're pontificating or thinking about things. You know what I mean? Taurus is, you guys are dope. And I did say, Taurus, whenever I see Taurus placements, ascendant, 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house, sometimes 5th house, I'm like, Taurus, and I'll ask a client, Taurus, they like to drive fast. So you can see where Taurus is in the birth chart in certain places where there's movement or traveling, and like in your local community, or for going to work, or your work and daily routine, high school, college years, you could see where, and you'd be like, oh, Taurus there, these people like to drive fast. And they'll admit to it, they do. My mom used to be like Mario Andretti, that was the joke. And she'd make the car like dance at the red light and stop back and forth and get the groove. They like to keep their cars very clean, which is actually good energy for your relationships, right? Because cars are ruled by Venus, automobiles, vehicles, okay? And, Taurus is definitely the nice paintings, the beautiful artwork, fabrics, designing, interior decorating the home, banking. Taurus is, you can see a lot of singers, artists, actors, but they are definitely about the Benjamins, getting that dollar bill. I'll give you some of the famous people: Al Pacino, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Adele, Barbara Streisand, Sam Smith, my boy, the whole run king, who finally just hit one for the Yankees in the playoffs, and hopefully the Yankees, I'm recording this, I hope they don't lose tonight to the Guardians. Aaron Judge. Yeah, he's a Taurus. Taurus. Oh, and of course, I can't forget my girl, Janet Jackson, right? Janet Jackson, Adele, Barbara Streisand. Notice the singing, their throat. But there's a sensuality, a softness to them, right? Adele, Janet, Barbara, there's a softness to them. And then the men, even Pacino, there's this classic feel to him as an actor, as a thespian, but he's very cultured. Back to the decans. The first decan of Taurus will go from the 21st to about the 30th, and that's the Taurus decan, right? Around 0 to 10 degrees, 9 degrees. These people are extremely Taurian. They're the ones that definitely could be more materialistic, collecting things, hoarding things, depending on the Venus, but they love to look good, dress good. My mother used to go to work as a teacher in Harlem, and other women would always watch her to see what fashion and style she was wearing, the Gucci bag and the shoes and the belt and the this and that. My mother was a fashionista, like, to the nines. Pucci, Emilio Pucci dresses. She just knew how to work it. Had a great sense of style. Even the holidays, decorating the home for Christmas. My mom, she was amazing with that. Okay. And you'll see that with Taurus. They can be very stylish and fashion forward and all those things. The Taurus Virgo decan. So we're talking about, May 1st, to about the 11th. And those people, they can be a little bit more earthy, a little bit more movement, because it's not fixed. Now it's fixed, mutable. And then you're bringing in Mercury or Virgo. So they could be, because also, let me just say, the Taurus decan, they could be extremely stubborn. Very slow to respond or move. They're going to do things. They'll take in your input, but they're not going to listen to you. Taurus is going to do what they want to do. They're stubborn. They're the bull. The second decan, it lightens up a little bit. They're a little bit more adjustable and flexible. They might be a little bit more health conscious, not as sweet tooth, not as gluttony, very much more practical. And they're more into how they earn money and then how they save it and invest it. Okay? Still fashionable and all that, but you might get a little bit of the more critical energy out of these people, And Taurus is not normally that way as the earth sign, but they are extremely grounded, love nature. These people, they might like to cook more. They may be more into herbal medicine and plants, their fruits and vegetables, their garden, okay? Then you have the third decan, number 3, the Taurus Capricorn decan. And that's really going more from like the 12th or 11th to about the 19th, 20th. Then when we switch, and then we get into the Taurus Gemini cusp, and you get into like Marvin Hagler, Malcolm X, Notorious Big, Christopher Wallace, stuff like that, right? Cher. So that's sort of that 19th, 20th in there. So this Taurus Capricorn decan, oof, they got their money on their mind and their mind on their money. These are the bosses. These are the ones that are climbing the corporate ladder. They work at the bank, but then they're going to be the supervisor at the bank. They're going to move up and this and that. They're going to, really focus on their status and their achievement. These Tauruses are extremely determined. And, you'll tend to see I don't want to say they're the most different, but they're the ones that could be because this is a cardinal, right? Taurus fixed, Capricorn cardinal. So they can initiate investments, making money, making moves, really the work ethic. All the earth signs have great work ethic, but these people are about building foundations, right? Saturn. I remember Mercury's neutral. So that's where you see the Taurus. Taurus is, Venus. Taurus Virgo decan is, Venus Mercury. And then Taurus Capricorn is Venus Saturn. Remember, Venus, Saturn, friends on the same team. So these people are very disciplined, hard work, long hours of work. You'll be like, oh my gosh, this and that or whatever. They're about their bag, but they're about the achievement, and they will initiate things that the other Taurus folks might not. Then, you got to hit me up, taylor2coaching@gmail.com, because you want to know what house it's in. Yo, Eric, I need to birth Chizzy. Because this is very detailed, right? Now, not all Tauruses, but some can be amazing chefs. Ooh, they be cooking up. My mother made great mac and cheese. And she didn't love to cook, and she was a decent cook. But her macaroni and cheese was excellent. It was famous. The way she did it with, different cheeses and making it crunchy up top. And I think she used 3 or 4 different cheeses and got, I wish I had got the recipe. But I kind of know it when I taste it, So that's the Taurus Capricorn decan. Relationships, you know, they really do well with Virgo, Capricorn. They, you know, can even do well with Aquarius. They tend to do extremely well with the water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, the opposition, Cancer, the sextile, and then even Pisces, the sextile, okay? And cuspies, you know, you want to look at, you know, what Venus works with good, and you'll see, you know, Pisces, Aquarius cusp, okay? Gemini, Cancer cusp, Virgo, Libra cusp, stuff like that, okay? Very intelligent. And you know what's so funny about Taurus? They have this look. They give you like this, their eyes, they're very like honest and pure. There's a naivete around them. You'll find with Aries and Taurus, the younger signs, and even with Gemini, there's this childlike experience of enjoying life. And you know, like Taurus, they can get like, they have like not a baby energy, that's more Aries, but it's more like the toddler. You know, like if they get emotionally upset, they stomp their feet like, no, I don't want that. You know, or please, you know, just like Taurus, and this is the men and the women, I've seen it. They can get a little immature at times. They are funny. They have a smirk. That's the word. The guys especially, very smirky. A lot of Taurus men like to drive stick shift. I've noticed that. Both men and women like to drive fast and very clean, the clothes. They like, you know, they like to look smooth. Taurus men, more so than the women, love gadgets. But they are definitely forward-thinking people, even though it's so funny. So they could collect things and be extremely nostalgic, but they like what's new, pop culture, arts, music. Like, you know, my mother loved, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. She loved Nelly. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes. And I'm looking at my mom, you know, it's at a family function party. I'm like, you like that song, Mom? She was like, I love it. And I'm cracking up. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so Venus, so extra. And my mom had like a Taurus stellium, so she was super Taurian and Venus, you know, like crazy stellium, 5, 6 things. But Taurus is, you just gotta love them. Remember, it's the 5 senses: survival, speech, food, culture, pleasure, beauty. Taurus, very sensual and underestimated for how spiritual they are. My mother was a Catholic schoolgirl, loved God, you know, Christian, loved Jesus. My sister, born again Christian, loved Jesus, very, you know, religious, but spiritual too. Like Taurus is very sensual, subtle, and spiritual. More so the women than the men. I've noticed that as well. Not saying the guys, I ain't saying you guys don't love God, or whether you're, you know, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian. I'm not labeling it like that. But I think the Taurus women tend to be, I experience a little bit more spiritual, and I am very experienced. They, you know, I dated some Taurus women. It's tactile. They love to massage. They love to be massaged. And, you know, they can be freaky. They love their sex, you know. Taurus is, they're surprising, I think. That's the word. Because they could be so classy and this and that, and then like turn off the lights and you're like, whoa. It's like, whoa. You know, which is dope. I mean, Taurus is just, you know, it's Venus, y'all. Okay? But, you know, this is the sun sign. So you look at the Venus to really see the relationship with your father. The father could be very cultured, be very focused on money, you know, the status. Even if they're poor, they got money on their mind. You know, you have the Taurus sun, you want to know what house is in, because then it really tells you more of the story of your father along with the Venus, okay? But there is definitely, Taurus usually have pretty good teeth. Even though Capricorn rules the teeth. Taurus, remember, throat, lower jaw. And they tend to have nice necks. The ladies, even the guys, they'll have nice necks. And you'll find that Taurus, I'm telling you, you will not find a Taurus woman or man that doesn't have some sort of collection, and it's usually something antique. But if it's not in music or art or culture, it could just be they have 20 pillows. Like, why do you have 20 pillows? 14 blankets in the house, 2-3 people live there. Like they have like extra of something because I like the colors and the fabrics, and I got this, and I bought this when I was in Paris, or I bought this here, and da-da-da. Taurus is very about the feel of something. Oh, this feels good on me. These are my blankets for the summer when it's hot. It's a light blanket. These are my blankets for when it's crazy cold and this and that. Oh, and they love to rock like their matching hoodies with the boots and, looking smooth and crisp. Yeah, Taurus is, y'all are dope, just dope. They can watch movies. You talk about Netflix and chill. Taurus can watch movies all day long, have the marathon, cuddle. And it doesn't always have to be about sex. It could just be holding, rubbing each other, watching movies, having their, decadent fruits and sweets. And they love to have like fruit and chocolate. Okay? Yeah, Taurus likes that. But you can, we're talking about the sun, but even moon rising, they if permitted and there's not children around or whatever, Taurus could spend the whole day in bed. And they love to laugh. They'll laugh out loud and chuckle and, be very boisterous. Even though sometimes they can be reserved and shy, when they feel comfortable, that Venus opens up and they could be loud and proud and silly, and they surprise you how their personality switches, So, Taurus the bull. Oh, and let me tell you something. They'll know. They'll be like, oh, that person's cheap. Don't take a Taurus woman out, and the Taurus man, he wants to pay for everything and treat, but he wants you to at least offer, okay? The women, they're like, oh, this one's cheap, this one's not classy. They notice these things. They notice if you're not cultured. They notice if you don't, they'll appreciate the finer things. A Taurus woman will see if the man, if the socks are matching the tie and the lapel and this and that, and if they have a pierced ear, does it go with their ring? Taurus, they pay attention. And a Taurus man, they'll have all that stuff, symmetrical and down together. It's like, it's Wu-Tang blue and cream, Taurus is dope like that, so. They also can be pretty good writers and tend to be pretty decent students in school, okay? They don't like to be embarrassed. They have their pride, okay? And they are stubborn. They're not gonna, if you tell them what to do, they'll be like, I ain't doing that, just because you told them. You're better off asking Taurus questions, okay? Questions. So, I think that's it. Broke you down. Make sure you look at the Venus. Tells you about the relationship. Even helps you with career stuff. When you're talking about the Taurus sun, relationship with dad. And Taurus is, they get it. They got it. They're good. I love the Taurus energy. Know plenty of Taurus people. Just so funny, and they really understand like art, museums, fine restaurants. They wanna. I love the balance. I'm just trying to remember, because they definitely know what's popping now. They're always gonna have like that, their heart connected to something antique in the past, even their childhood. The good times. a good time. So I know, I'm trying to think of any other Tauruses. Oh, my good buddy's wife, Erica Wolf. I know my good friend Jana Gallo. I forgot her married name. And I know some more Taurus folks. Some of these May Taurus folks. But yeah, Taurus, I salute you. I shout you out. You're dope. Stay on your high vibration though. Watch the sweet tooth. Watch the overeating, overspending, the gluttony stuff. And try not to be so stubborn. You're so practical and pragmatic. They're good also in investing for real estate, the banking, the marketing, because they have an eye for beauty. They are good interior designers and decorators. And if you're buying or helping Tauruses with real estate, they like to put their feet in the grass. They like greenery. Not saying they're not city people, they are, but they feel more peaceful when there's grass around, okay? And trees and plants. So even if you live in a city, Taurus, get some plants in the home, okay? So I salute you. I love you. I miss you. Taurus the Bull, you're dope. All right? Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology, and this is the Taurus Sun Sign Secrets. And Taurus loves you nibble on the ear and their neck, along with the massage, middle back, shoulders, you know, yeah, secret. All right, Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology. Bye, Taurus. Later.